Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset, episode 153. This podcast is about anything and everything related to the Destiny franchise. If you love playing Destiny 2 as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, we celebrate Bungie Day, we uncover all the info from Game Informer's Forsaken coverage, and we talk all about how we plan to play Destiny until September. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. It's AER0KNIGHT, and of course, CyborgSasquatch. Hey, dude.
Hello.
Hi.
It is a week, and Destiny is a game that we play, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, and it's been one of those weeks where just an explosion of information. And,
oh my gosh, was not prepared.
No, not at all.
I didn't even think about, every major release, we've kind of gotten used to Game Informer doing an article, and we've kind of expected it, but I kind of forgot about that this time.
Same here.
So I was like, oh yeah, they always get coverage, and oh my god, there's so much to read.
For some reason, I was just thinking as much, I don't know if it was as much stuff as they've been releasing, because you can tell it's like really thought out and planned out over the summer, because it's only July and we just got another behind the scenes dev insight today. So I don't know if it's all those we've been getting, but it's like Game Informer wasn't on my radar, same as you. Like, it just wasn't at all. And then all of a sudden bought an issue and just tons of information. Our show notes just grew and grew and grew all week long.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was a really good article with like a ton of depth about what we're gonna see and really interesting stuff. So we're gonna do our best to cover that for you this week, and so we need to get this show on the road. What do you say?
We do.
No time for pleasantries.
No.
Announcements. Do we have any?
We do. I think you're going somewhere this week.
Oh yes, I am going to GuardianCon. I'll be leaving. If you're listening on Tuesday, I'll be leaving tomorrow and heading out there. I'm going to get out there a little bit early. If you're going to be in Tampa, Florida for GuardianCon, I will see you there. Come and find me, tweet me. You can hit me up in the Discord at me. We are going to plan a meetup for Dirt Fam and others, and we're going to coordinate that in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, come join discord.gg/Destiny Reset. We've got a channel just for GuardianCon. If you don't know what GuardianCon is, go to GuardianCon.co, I believe. There's a huge charity stream going down right now, raising money for their benefactor, St. Jude. And you should go check that out. It's going to be going through, I believe, Thursday. And they've got a bunch of awesome, talented streamers. It's twitch.tv/GuardianCon. And they're raising money for St. Jude Hospital, and I would encourage you to go donate if you can. It's a very well-deserving cause, and we support that. I'm going to be donating, and I would encourage you as well, if you're in the Dirt Fam, to go do that if you can. Yeah,
it's always cool. I've been seeing the streamers' stream goals going up this week.
Oh, yeah, that's some great
gigs, and it's like stuff. Oh man, those stream goals, because they're probably gonna hit them, and some of them are great.
That's the point, right?
Yep.
Some good stuff. So
yeah, that's cool though, man. GuardianCon's a blast. I'm not gonna be attending this year. I hope to next year.
No,
but I'm gonna miss
you this year, man.
All of you guys. Please, Cyborg, FaceTime me at some point down there so I can see the Dirt Fam.
Whenever we have a meetup, we'll do a FaceTime, and I might do like some Periscope action and stuff too.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
There's like fun stuff going on, or whatever.
Beware,
I'll
everybody.
Throw up some videos.
I can confirm this man gives a good hug. So
I do. I like to hug.
Just get ready.
If you're open to it, I will.
If not a fist bump. Is that what you tweeted out?
Hugs. Fist bumps are great in between.
Yeah.
That's what you're into, but hugs is where it's at.
Watch for the hug. Throw a fist bump if you don't want it.
Yeah. And be careful. Don't give me any signals. I might try to go in for a hug if you're careful. If you're not careful,
be very clear.
Be real clear about what you want
right away.
I will try to hug you.
we had this awkward moment. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a hugger too, so that was fine when we went to the D2 reveal. We hugged it out.
Yeah, we did a good hug.
Met for the first time. Still got to have those steaks, though. Not going to happen at G-Con this year.
First time. I think that's all the announcements. So we had if you've been listening the past couple of weeks, we had a blue microphone giveaway up. We're giving you till the end of the 10th, Tuesday the 10th, to submit your favorite moment or moments from 3 years of Destiny Reset. So you can still do that. You've still got a chance. Submit a speak pipe or an email, and you can win yourself a Blue Yeti microphone or a pair of Blue Lolas. So send those along, and we'll announce the winner, I think, on Wednesday the 11th. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Somebody's getting some of that amazing blue loot that you're listening to us on.
And then we'll have another giveaway for August.
Yes.
In September, and on and on.
And on. And on.
And on. And on. As long as Blue doesn't get sick of us giving away their stuff. All right, man. That's all the announcements. So let's do some news, and there's so much.
Oh, boy.
But first off, this week at Bungie, Future War Cult took the crown.
There it is.
Who'd have thunk it?
I was totally fine with it.
Pulled it off.
50K for that sidearm. Yes, please.
Yeah. What was really fascinating was they gave a breakdown of the pledged players and the total faction ranks earned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Dead Orbit was within 5 percentage points in ranks earned.
Everybody finishing up that Graviton like me.
So 41% of players pledged Dead Orbit and 31% pledged Future War Cult. But the actual ranks earned, 37% were Dead Orbit and 42% was Future War Cult. So like you said, a lot of people were coming back to finish up getting to rank 50 on Dead Orbit. So much so that Dead Orbit almost won again.
Mm-hmm.
But that core that grinded out to 50 last time, they all switched to Dead Orbit and grinded to 50 again and pulled that win through.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, switched.
So it's interesting to see how that dynamic went, and it makes me wonder how things are going to go next time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's going to be an interesting one next time for sure.
Did the players that went Dead Orbit, are they going to come back next faction rally? Are they going to pledge Future War Cult because they want the Sunshot Catalyst? Are they going to pledge New Monarchy with the rest of the hardcore audience that's going to...
See, that's what's going to be nuts, because I'm representing I'll be going to Future War Cult now, finally, to get the Sunshot Catalyst. Don't know that I get it. I'll get it, but I'm going to attempt it. So it is going to be interesting, because all of those that are grinding 50 each time, like you said, they're all going to go New Monarchy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
I think it could be a toss-up between New Monarchy and Future War Cult.
Yeah.
I think it could be. I'm going to go actually New Monarchy solely because one, that's my faction of choice, but two, I actually just want to get the ship and the Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care for the ornaments. Like,
I wouldn't mind having the Titan Crest of Alpha Lupi one. That is one of them.
Yeah, and then the Sweet Business and the Crest of Alpha Lupi ornament are kind of cool, So, and they did say, somebody said on Twitter that we are going to have another way to get all these catalysts later on. So it made me feel a little bit better about missing one.
Yeah, I just wonder when, because it's like, make all these Guardians, not make them, you're not making them do anything, but for all these Guardians to grind all this out like this, it's their own choice. But then, if like 2 weeks after the final faction rally, they're all available for everyone in some way, that's like, ooh.
I would expect maybe like sometime after Forsaken drops.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I don't know.
Because I've been working on did you finish and get your Graviton? Did you
I got it. Yeah,
did,
I haven't completed the Catalyst, but I did.
That's what I was about to say. I went in and played like 3 or 4 rounds of Escalation Protocol just because that's what we wanted to do after I got it. And I'm at like maybe 50-60% after many other things in addition to that on the kills, and I'm only at like 5%. I'm gonna have to go do that quest that Fallout.
Yeah, somebody was telling me there's a certain quest and it only take you like an hour if you do it that way.
Yeah.
So. I think it's a Warmind adventure.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So that's a way to grind that out. But I haven't been like super interested in grinding stuff too hard lately.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just wasn't seeming fun to me. So I just been doing stuff that's fun.
You do have to be in the mood for the grinding.
Yeah. Anyways, so going back to this week at Bungie, they detailed the team that's going to be coming down to Tampa for Guardian Con, where we're going to have Gambit playable.
Can't wait
and also they're going to have a Gambit exhibition tournament. I think it's on Friday, the first day at 6 p.m. Eastern on the main stage. And they're going to have 4 teams with a mix of Bungie developers and some content creators. Will compete across 3 matches. And then the winners of each match will battle to the last in a final winner take all showdown with commentary by Dr. Lupo and Imtashed. And it's all just for charity and goodwill. And so that's going to be really cool to watch that.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I can't wait to hear what you think about Gambit. I can't wait to hear what everybody thinks about it.
Wait to play,
man. And I'm so really excited they're doing this because I mentioned, I think on last week's episode, just the more and more playing Gambit and watching it more and more and hearing more reactions, like Gambit, dude, like more and more I'm thinking how big of a deal it's going to be. Like it's a big deal, a big mode for Destiny, and it's going to be cool to see like a tournament style thing like this and how people react to it, you know, and how it plays out. I think it's going to be neat to see. I think it's cool they're doing this. I mean, it's not even coming out until September, and they're going to throw this little tournament up to see how it is. Yeah,
it's cool.
So.
Just detailing real quick who's coming. They have some techs that are going to help run things. They've got the Gambit team going. They've got some of the community team. It looks like Deej actually isn't going to make it this year, but they're going to have Dimg, Cosmo, and Griffin Bennett, who is their social media manager. They're going to have a couple people from the Bungie store, which is exciting. I'm hoping they have something exclusive that I could buy. Mm-hmm. And then they have something called the Brass, which I guess is like some producers, Brittany Lichty and Matt Bianchi.
Oh, they actually they coordinated our trips to the summit. I think they're like
so maybe they're Activision.
Yeah. I think
folks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they may actually work at Bungie, but they coordinated like all our travel and stuff. So I think maybe that's
all right.
Kind of
cool.
Thing. Yeah.
Interesting. So they got a whole big team that's going to be there, and you bet your butt they're going to be working their butts off because people are going to all want to play this. So they're going to have some long days, but I'm looking forward to hopefully getting to meet and talk to some of these folks that help manage and create this activity and play it, and be able to come back and talk about it with you when you get back.
Can't wait. Yes, when I get back, I'm going on vacation. The day you're getting back from Guardian Con, I'll be out.
Yeah, we should have announced as well. Like Arrow's going to be out for 2 episodes actually.
Yes, so probably 2 episodes. Yeah. Going on vacation.
So I'll be doing something at Guardian Con for you guys and putting together an episode. Don't have anything confirmed. You'll find out when it comes out. And then the next week will be an at-home episode again. We'll have a guest host holding it down with us, and we'll do something fun there too. So this is your Arrow Night fix for the next 2 weeks.
Yes, I hope you guys miss me. I mean, if not, then
I think so.
You know, but that's
they don't want to just hear me talk for 2 hours.
I don't know, man. Geez. You got that sexy voice, dude. I mean, it's not Manny G level, but you know.
Yeah, nobody's Manny G level. Come
on. Now we do have talking about this real quick. We do have some juicy guests coming up later in the summer. Yeah, so just
wait. We'll announce it when they're dated. But
just a teaser. I was gonna tell you too, man. Make sure and talk to. I didn't get a chance to talk to Brittany too much, but Matt from the Brass. Talk to him. He's a cool dude. He was really nice.
Okay, well,
really
I'm gonna look for all these.
Now, he didn't develop Gambit or anything, but he's a really nice guy.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
All right.
So then they talk about, okay, there's the, which we mentioned, Game Informer has a coverage hub up, and then there was a front page cover story in Game Informer for August. So they talk about that, and that's out there. Then we have a update on the schedule for the Prestige raid lairs, and because they want to accommodate the community to make sure that if they want to run a race that they can, that's upcoming with this patch. I think it's next week. Eater of Worlds Prestige will launch at 11 a.m. Pacific on July 17th, and Spire of Stars Prestige will launch at 10 a.m. Pacific on July 18th. They want to mention, like, the raid lairs, Prestige raid lairs are more about week-to-week variety and less about a single pinnacle challenge, but they are excited to watch the community do what they can, on that World's First.
Yep.
Next up, they mentioned this happened this past week. There was a 3 times Valor rank gain in Valor supported playlists over this weekend. I actually took advantage of that.
Dude,
and jumped in there.
We played trials this weekend. Of course, the weekend there's 3 times Valor. We fit in some quick play and then we jumped in trials, but it doesn't go away until reset. So I'm hoping we can get the show recorded and edited and done so that I can fit in a little bit more. Because man, that rank is just cruising up. I know a lot of people, even several people in our fire team, like grinded out the Ghost in like a couple play sessions.
Yeah, I went from 1.5, whatever that is, to like the last rank in like 2 short nights of play.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Probably
I am excited.
4 hours ish.
I'm hoping that I can at least like reset it once, because then the patch will drop and everything you do counts for Valor. So it shouldn't be too hard. We'll
also have Iron
like
Banner this week.
Yeah,
that would count if you had time to do that. So yeah, I'm not like mega interested in the Ghosts, but if I'll probably reset it just to see if I can get it there to grab that,
Yeah, it's like one of those. Well, yeah, you especially. I mean, I'm kind of the same. Like, I just kind of want it. It's not the best looking Ghost. I don't even know. It's one of those things. Like, I don't even know if I'll throw it on. But yeah,
it's a cool collectible. I saw a lot of people getting it because they were able to reset and use that Valor rank gain. So that was really cool. I was glad they did that because, which we'll talk about in a minute. Hitting that legend Valor rank is one of the moments of triumph.
Oh yeah,
I was like, I got to be sure to do that. Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
I do love that there's 2 separate ranks, because like when Call of Duty used to do this, I'm like, man, like I spend time, I played Call of Duty for a portion of time, and it's like I spent all this time grinding for this stuff and prestiging, and then all of a sudden you throw out these 2 and 3 time, XP weekends, and it's fine, it's all good, who cares who gets what, but it's like, you spend that time grinding to get something, and then all of a sudden a lot of people have it. So in like this case, a lot of people might have the exotic Ghost now, but it's Valor rank, and when you still see someone with Redrick's Claymore on the the glory side, you're like, okay, they never had like a XP boost or anything, like they grinded it out. So I like that. Anyways,
I hear you.
Random thought.
Well, over in the Destiny player support section, they talked about a problem with there was a Destiny 2 free trial weekend, and some folks were unable to progress their characters beyond level 8 or finish the Red War campaign. So they deployed a fix for that. So moving forward, there should be no problems. And that was the majority of it. They talk about some other like minor stuff with like existing issues, and there's like a known issues, Warmind known issues, PC known issues threads. So if you're having any bugs or problems, you can always go to Bungie.net and check on that, thing that they may or may not be aware of going down the game. I need to go look in that and find out what's up with my slow sparrow issue. Have I told you about that?
No, you haven't.
So I can't pin down the exact like day or week that it happened, but I just started noticing like my sparrow was really slow, or it felt really slow. And then I like got somebody on my fire team. We tested it, and my Sparrow max speed is like 50% of a normal max speed Sparrow, and I can't figure out why.
What?
Like my like full boost on a Sparrow is about as fast as you run in the game.
No way.
I can't, dude. And it's every time now. Like with a 160 speed Sparrow, I boost to full speed and it is slow as molasses, and I can't figure out why. I don't know what's broken about.
I still
my
feel
game.
like even the fastest Sparrows in some zones don't.
They
feel that
feel
fast.
slow.
So I can't
imagine it slower.
That's painful.
We tested it. Like I got my buddy Darth, and I was like, all right, sit next to me. Like we're gonna both boost right when we start, and he just like cruised past me. He was like, yep, my game is broken. I don't know what's wrong.
That's painful.
So I need to see if there's any like known bugs and maybe submit a post, because it's really weird and it hasn't gone away.
Sorry, man.
I don't know. Anyways, they had the movies of the week. Check those out, and they mentioned, you know, update 1.2.3 is coming up soon, so we'll probably see the patch notes or something, a preview on Thursday the 12th, I would imagine, with the TWAB.
Yeah. Actually, I just saw on my feed tonight too. DMG was. Did you see that? He was, as people.
Yeah, he put up some
previews.
Goals,
he was putting out previews. Dude, one of them was. Sorry, I don't think we have this in the show notes anywhere unless we added it at the last minute. One of them was like an Iron Banner. Now there's gonna be the like fire pits as the control points. That's what you cap now, and instead of flags. That's like what's actually setting at the control point, unless he was like just pulling our leg. That's
no way. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, anyways, there was a few random things.
Yeah, it says not this week's events, but those taking place after.
Yes,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, just little things like that, man. It really feels like, I don't know, with the timing of like the insights and everything seems very like organically strategic now. Like they seem very well prepared for Forsaken. They seem very confident, all the way down to changing a little thing like that in Iron Banner. It's those little things that go a long way, you know. So I don't know. It just really, everything seems like it's coming into place right now. But,
yeah, he threw out a bunch of early patch notes. We'll save that stuff for or I'll save that for next week to talk about. Also, happy Bungie Day.
Yes.
We almost forgot to talk about that, but Bungie Day was July 7th.
On the weekend.
Which is a community holiday to celebrate our relationships and friendships and all the things that make our community what it is. So it's not a thing that Bungie puts on, but they do try to do something special every year.
Yeah.
So what they did do was they put up some of the moments of triumph a little early on Bungie.net in the companion app. So there's still some that are hidden that we won't see in game until July 31st, when the complete list of triumphs comes up, and that will also be in game. You can see it with Solstice of Heroes, but it allows you to kind of look ahead and see what kind of things you'll need to complete and maybe start to work on those.
Yeah, I love it. Like
and then they detailed what the rewards will be. Why don't you tell us what those are going to be, Arrow?
Yeah. Complete any triumph. Get your tracking emblem for moments of triumph. This emblem will show total triumph points earned. At 125 points, you get the right choice, a legendary ghost shell. At 250 points, the Solstice of Heroes Moments of Triumph t-shirt offer becomes available. 300 points, get Comrades in Arms, legendary Sparrow. 400 points, get the Eternally Triumphant emblem upgrade. So 400 points is all the points you can get. I, of course, immediately realized, I mean, like they say, a lot of us that have been playing the game still pretty regularly, even some maybe that put a lot of time in and took a break. Like, you're going to have a lot of this stuff done already. You can check your progress right now on much of it, like Cyborg said, but you can guess. I immediately saw that I have to do the raid layers. I knew it was coming.
I'll tell you, Eater of Worlds, I think, is maybe the easiest raid activity to get somebody through in Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Short of the backpacks that you could do with like old school Crota, you know, because that raid was like in a state where you like 3 people could do it and you could just have people in there with you. But beyond that, like we've brought people in and beat that in an hour, and they had never done the raid layer at all. Like you can pick it up really fast. So if we just find you some derp fam, like they can sure you through that. Now Spire of Stars is probably the most technically complicated raid in Destiny, but
maybe I'll watch a few videos before
it can be done. Yeah, you might want to watch some videos to get familiar with it, but it can be done.
I am excited. Like I like these, you know, because I do want to do them. I would like to do them more than once. I just got to get out of Crucible, but this gives me more than enough reason to do it. Yeah, so I'm pumped.
But dude, the picture they show of the Sparrow and the Ghost and so, oh, they're so pretty.
Yeah, they are pretty, dude.
So
the armor.
Oh, yeah, and I really like the shirt.
Yeah,
the shirt's really nice.
I assume they're gonna do obviously something similar. Like they say you unlock it, and then I'm assuming it's gonna be like normal price, just unlocks to where you can order it.
Yeah, it's. I think I looked at it. They've got a page up for the shirt. It's just like previous years, where you know you unlock and you get a code to put in to buy it, and you can personalize the sleeve and. Yeah, just like that. They also showed a little preview of each of the helmets of the Moments of Triumph / Solstice of Heroes armor, and they look really
so good,
really pretty.
Yeah,
it reminds me a lot. You know, it reminds me of like Gondor, stuff from Lord of the Rings. I can see that because they had it was like the white and gold
Gondor and Iron Banner.
yeah, I love that look, man.
Yeah.
So real quick, if you didn't look, I can tell you what some of the moments of triumph are. Real quick, we've got finished Destiny 2's base campaign, Curse of Osiris campaign, and Warbind campaign. Collect all 45 latent memories.
Gotta do that.
Which is the Warmind campaign. That is the little they call them latent memories. It's the little circle things you got to shoot.
Yeah.
That's that thing that'll also lead to the World Line 0
and it's a sparrow too,
sword.
Right? You get a sparrow.
Yeah, and a sparrow
through that. Yeah.
Obtain 25 exotic weapons or armor. Obtain Segura's ghost shell. Yes. To do that, you've got to complete all of the armory. What is it called? The forge weapons.
Yeah.
In Curse of Osiris.
I actually have like 1, maybe 2 left of that. I've been working on
That's
this.
Not bad. Reach Vanguard rank 50 in season 3. That one might give some people some trouble if they're not running strikes.
Yeah. Oh, that one, yes, for sure. Because I have not been running strikes.
1,000 tokens.
Like, again, get me out of the Crucible. Like,
yeah. And I mean, I looked like so since Destiny 2 started, I've turned in almost no Vanguard tokens because I just didn't need to. So I had a store of about 950, and that is all year's Vanguard tokens. So
wow.
Like if you don't have them yet, it might take some time because I've run a lot of strikes and stuff.
Yeah. Again, it sounds fun. Like I love having this incentive to do things. But damn, 50 levels.
Yeah.
I do. I want. What is it? Is it Zavala's ship also that you get it?
Yeah, that's 50? The rank 50 is the exotic Zavala ship, which
I've looked at that
cool.
a few times. Yeah, it's a reskin, I think, but it still looks pretty.
Yeah,
that's good.
So then we've got collect all region chests, defeat 100 opponents in the Crucible, complete 20 adventures, complete Tier 7 and Escalation Protocol. Reach Legend and Valor ranking in Season 3. Defeat Callus and Leviathan. Complete Eater of Worlds and Spire of Stars. And then there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 other ones that are question marks. So we don't know what those are going to be. I don't know if there's more than that, but that's 6 that it's showing that we don't know what they are. So yeah, you can work on those now, and I was actually happy to see that because I like I said, I jumped right in, got that Valor up, got that done.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I'm gonna start. I gotta actually do the region chests and the latent memories. So that gives me some extra time to work on those until the end of July. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
that they kind of put it out a little early.
Good old moments of triumph.
Also, they got some new stuff up in the Bungie store. I made a purchase.
Of course.
Yep, they've got 2 new shirts. They've got a pin set, a singular pin, and then they have a new I think they call it a pin collection set. So this is similar to the ones where in the past, usually they would do like a set of pins and one of them would be a random pin. This one is a collection of weapons, and you buy 1 pin and you have a chance to get 1 of 10.
RNG.
I'm not pleased about how they did that, but
RNG.
I just bought 1. So I can't spend $150 on this pin today.
Yeah.
To get all of these. But if you didn't get the spicy ramen shirt, they put out like a variant version that is like the it's red, kind of like the how do you say it? Sriracha?
Yeah.
Sriracha red with the same like print on it. It looks really cool. So they had all this cool new stuff, and you get an emblem code, of course, if you purchase anything by the 14th. So go check that out if you're into emblems.
Those figures, they had those at the summit. They let us pick one to take home.
Didn't they give? Yeah, they gave you 1 of them.
Yep.
Those are in the store now, but they have like a 3 set that you can buy on the Bungie store.
They're cool. You get an emblem with it too, of course.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was rocking that emblem for a little bit.
If they have them, I might pick them up at the.
Yeah, I'm sure. I bet they will.
So then they also threw up some wallpapers for us, some high-res wallpapers.
Yes. Yep. Dude, I'm always like, I love these wallpapers, but having multiple monitors, like I'm like, I love to have the wallpapers that will spread across like continuous image.
Oh yeah.
So like you have to take it into Photoshop if it's like a single image like this, and get strategic. Yeah. But anyways, these are beautiful. They'll work.
Yeah,
they'll work.
So that's all there. And so that was Bungie Day this year. So happy Bungie Day to all of our community. If you're listening, I thought about all of our community and my friends and stuff on Bungie Day, and how lucky we are to have everything that we have.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Friendships and the community, and
yep. I just watched a Briar Rabbit video today after their stream they did, and the 105,000 that they raised on their block that they did the other day, or I think
for Guardian Con.
Yeah, when was that? Was it? It wasn't. It was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. And he was just talking about just how awesome the community is, even when people are still waiting for September. Like some are still taking a break from the game. Like the community's still awesome. It's so cool. The Destiny community is like no other.
Absolutely.
Yep. The Derp fam, all the little communities, the smaller communities within the Destiny community. So, right on, Cyborg. Happy Bungie Day.
Happy Bungie Day. So now we're gonna kind of go through some of the major bullet points from the Game Informer coverage. I guess we'll throw out like a semi-spoiler warning here.
Yeah.
If you're listening, like if you're a purist, like you don't want to really know any details about Forsaken before it comes up, I would move along. Now, they have done some coverage that is more, like they put out a video today that was in the new patrol space place, like the new destination. Sure. We're not going to talk about that. Because they cross the line.
Cross the line. I will watch it, but
you will, but I won't.
Yeah, story is where I draw the line. Like if I start seeing story tidbits, like a little too much of that. But like patrol, I'm clicking on it.
I really like it. I really like exploring the destination, so I didn't want to watch anything.
I understand.
I don't mind reading about it and then like talking conceptually about it. Like that's interesting, but I want to go see it for the first time.
I understand.
Yeah, so we're not going to talk about any stuff like that, but I mean, there's a ton of stuff that they have covered, like the new supers and how you know, the weapon systems are going to work, and like different things about NPCs and enemies we'll fight. And so we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff.
Yep.
So again, spoiler warning here if you don't want to hear about that, but we're going to kind of condense this stuff and try to discuss it for a few minutes. You want to kick it off, man?
Yes, I'd love to. We try to put this in some sort of order that makes sense, but it might still seem a little
some kind of logical
random
format.
Yeah, there's just so much information. Okay,
there's like a different video every day they're putting out of the week, and then there was the cover story. So like we just kind of went through all of it and grabbed like the biggest stuff for you.
Yes. Yep. And go to they've got like a it's kind of weird if you go to Game Informer's website, you eventually land on it, but they have what they usually do, which is like a hub.
A coverage hub.
Yeah. So
and you want to look for that. But I would encourage you, and we say this every year, go pick up the magazine. Like if you're really into Destiny, you're really into like, you know, getting like the full details of all the coverage. Like we can't totally do it justice here,
right?
But the article is great. They do great coverage of every aspect of what we're going to see. There's an interview with Chris Barrett there. There's like some detailed side panels on the supers and the weapon systems. Like there's no substitute for it.
Yeah.
And Arrow, you told me you can get it digitally through their app for $5, right?
Yep. You can $4.99 in the Game Informer
so,
app, so
again, and thank you to Game Informer for providing all this coverage.
Yes.
You know, this is free info for us. So
yeah.
You know, credit to them where it's due. But we want to tell people, you know, like go buy that, throw down the money. It's worth it.
Dude, they put a lot of work into it, and they actually have a good portion of their podcast they put out this week is the two guys that actually went to the Bungie studios, and those guys play Destiny, you can tell. So I enjoy their coverage, and they put a lot of work
cover
into
it
this.
well.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So moving on.
Now go.
First things first, the Spider. He is going to be. We've seen a picture of this character. He's.
Have we?
Yes, it's. It actually, I believe, came in the press kit that went out, and there's actually a. If not there is a quick little clip of him that I've seen multiple times. I'm not sure which video that got released that it's in, but we're almost certain it's him. He's like a big fallen dude with multiple arms, and there's actually some. There's some lore that's been shown out there on the weapons that says people had speculated before we got this little tidbit that they were it was lore from quotes from a character called the Spider. So everyone's pretty certain that that's who this
I haven't
is.
seen the picture. I'm gonna go try to track it down, but I had this half-baked theory that he is Varix. Do you think there's any credit to that?
It's at this point I don't think it's been 100% confirmed that the little short clip of this character is the Spider, but I mean when you see him you'll understand why it looks very likely that it's him. I mean it's
okay. So you think that could be the case?
I think it could be the case. Yeah, I don't think it's Varix. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go try to find. If you see it somewhere,
I
send
saw
it to me. I haven't
speaking
seen
of that,
it.
I saw. Oh, I will. Yeah, I saw your tweet today about your story prediction, which was actually pretty darn good, man. Like Aldrin's motive.
You think it could be it?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think it could be.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
I'll throw this out later in the show.
Yeah,
we'll talk about something else. I'll throw out my story prediction.
Yeah. So, anyways, okay. So
the
Spider, he's like appears like kind of an ally. Like I don't know how much of an ally, but we're at least working with him. It seems like, and he's
the vendor for the Tangled Shore.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. And
which is interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to have. I mean, another Varix type character, which I don't know if we have it in the bullet points here, but just in the coverage this week too. I know at some point I heard little tidbits of Varix, and that pretty much confirmed that we'll get some form of some story about him. I don't know if he'll actually.
Yeah, I think they said it'll be in some lore stuff. We'll find out what he's been up to, and
so we don't know if we'll see him, but we'll at least get some information about his whereabouts and what he's been doing.
But they did mention the Spider. He will give us, I think something akin to bounties.
I think so.
He'll send us out to go find different enemies, and then also he will have actual like fallen follow you into some activities.
Yes. Like
which I found
his
really
crew will
interesting.
go with you. Yeah, that's very interesting.
So cool. Like that's so close to like what everybody wants with the Fallen.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
But it like the Fallen are so fascinating because they can fall on any like allegiance, right? You know, ever since Destiny 1, like because they were because Miroslav was over the house of I don't remember which house it was. Man, now I'm like drawing a blank, but because of the Reef Wars, she ended up as the Kell of a House of Fallen. And so, you know, you had Fallen that were allied or were subservient to Miroslav, which was like a really weird thing. But this kind of like takes it another step further in that you have like almost a loose alliance with the Fallen because they explain the story that the Scourge, is that what they're called? The Scourge?
Scorn.
Scorn, okay. Yeah, the Scorn are like this wholly different, you know, almost mutation of the Fallen, and the Fallen are like having a problem with them.
Yeah.
So that you're kind of loosely allied with the Fallen that are at the Reef. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, I think, I agree. I think it's pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know why we have this little tidbit in here. We were typing so randomly all week. I don't think we have this anywhere else. We just have to mention it. They've hinted that Lost Sectors possibly are going to have more depth as well. So I don't know if this is related to the Tangle Shore. But
without spoiling them, like they are going to have a more interesting
reason for doing them.
Like when you go to it, it's going to be more than just like go in and like kill a boss. Like there's more going on in the Lost Sector.
Yeah. Very cool.
I don't want to spoil too much for people, but I read and heard some things about like different,
which is good
that they saw. And
I mean, those I'm fine with more depth in the Lost Sectors.
There was one that sounds like really funny and cool. So
yeah,
you'll see.
Which you know what? Did you read it? You take this next one on the Baron hunt?
Yeah. And so there was two things. Like they talk about the Baron hunt, and they talk about in the article, and then they also did a really in-depth article on the different Barons. There's 8 different Barons, and they confirmed everything in that article is canon, and it gives a bunch of backstory and information from Cade and all this stuff about these Barons, and which I found like a really interesting read and fascinating. But they're the 8 Scorn Barons who are basically like the leaders of the Scorn, and part of the campaign is going to be fighting these guys. I think they're done in like an adventure. And 6 of them you can do in any order.
So cool. Yeah.
And when you defeat those 6, there's 2 more. And then I think Uldren is the final confrontation as part of the campaign. But what's really cool about these Barons, like each of them are like a different Wild West bandit almost with their own specialty, and I think they brought that up before, but go read the profile of each one, and it's really interesting like how much work it seems that they put into these different guys, and I think they're going to be really fun to fight and
I think
to explore.
I mean, we'll see when we play it, but, you know, combining the fact that we can choose the majority of them in what order we want to fight them, and then also, like you said, they're all unique in their own, what they're known for. They say that actually in the Dev Insight video today that, again, the Wild West theme, like each enemy, like the movies we would go and watch, has their own like persona about them. So it's going to be cool that you choose who you want to go fight, and they're completely different every time. It's going to, I think, it seems like it's going to create a lot of value for the story, you know, as we play through it.
It seems really fun.
Yeah. So a different take on what we're used to, you know. I mean, up to this point, you know, we're so used to jumping in a couple hours, shell out the story, and then move on to the grinding. So I'm excited to,
I think this is going to give the campaign some more depth. And
It's And then hearing more about we've got some tidbits about the Dreaming City here coming up, but hearing even more about it today. Oh man. Oh. Anyways, all right. New enemies. We've got Scorn, Mongrels, Screeb, Raiders, Lurkers, and Ravages. Those are all the Scorn, the different enemy names of the Scorn. They all have kind of different abilities for each of them. And this was interesting. They are part of the Chieftains Elite faction that's holding them. Basically, they're all together in that faction. And they're a very aggressive enemy type. So it's...
Yeah, they mentioned in the article, like, they're probably the most aggressive enemies and they've ever fought in Destiny. Like, they really push you and keep you on your toes.
Yeah, and I think at some point I heard as well, just so much information, like they're not like the smartest, like they're not going to try and necessarily outsmart you like maybe some of the enemies that we've had, but they're just going to come at you. Like that's the thing.
And then the I think they're called the Chieftains, which are like, think of it like a big fallen captain, right? Mm-hmm. They show up and they throw out like a different kind of elemental totem. And there's 3 different ones. Like there's a solar, an arc, and a void totem. And they each do a different thing for their enemies. Like for instance, I think the void one like puts up a large shield that the enemies can use and like different stuff like that. So that's something you'll have to like prioritize, like taking down, you know, while you're still getting like pushed by all these enemies. Mm-hmm. So that's really cool. Yeah. But what's like, I think should be focused on and I think is really great is like, these are not just reskinned Fallen. Mm-hmm. Like they are definitely a new enemy type. Like the model may have like Fallen limbs and stuff, but they all look different. Like they're completely new art assets. They all have different AI routines, like different ways they fight. Some of them are, I want to say it might have been the Screeb, like they come out and explode on you like Thrall do, and like the Ravages I think have like this swinging flame lantern that they try to hit you, and you can like blow up the lantern, and like they're all just like a completely new enemy type, and I think that's great, you know, that we get that. With this expansion, because we need
it to exactly. We need it to feel like an enemy we've never fought before, and not even not just more Fallen.
Yeah. So next up, the Dreaming City, which I think we're the most excited for.
Yes, it's turning out to be exactly what we were speculating for the past many episodes. It's a end game destination, exactly what they said from the start.
Now, they haven't confirmed our Hope, which is a 6-man patrol. They haven't come out and said that yet. Still holding hope that could be a thing. But they just kind of put some more information about it besides what we've heard. It's a full-size location about the size of Nessus, modeled after, you know, how the Dreadnought was put together. It's locked until you beat the story. And they mentioned the space will change from week to week, and it will work on a 3-week cycle. Mm-hmm. So over 3 weeks, it will change, and on the 3rd week, there will be things to do, and then it will reset. So I think that's pretty cool because, like, if you miss something, you know, you can come back maybe after another cycle, or maybe there will be different things every cycle. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
And then the vendor, Petra, which we're familiar with from the Reef, she will move every week. And there will be secrets to unlock with a pinnacle secret at the end, I guess, of each 3-week cycle. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's I'm not sure quite what they mean. They just, I mean, it in a nutshell is that it's going to take weeks to unlock some of this stuff. So
yeah. And then they mentioned I think I had this on another note, but part of the Dreaming City, you know, the narrative going on there is that there's like some Taken there. I don't know if they're invading or what's going on, but you'll find something that will allow you to traverse between the Dreaming City, and you can go through some kind of portals or something into the Ascendant realm.
Yeah.
which is basically like where the Taken are, and do different things as part of these activities. So that sounds really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds really neat. Yeah. They, I guess there was more in there than I thought, but the coverage too today, I actually think it was the, don't know if it was the Dev Insight video or not, but they said like your first visit there will actually be the Ascendant Realm, and then it kind of you go back later. So I don't know if you get like it says you don't unlock it till after the story, so I don't know if you do like a quick little visit at some point during the campaign, or if when it's done, that's your first visit there.
Maybe that's where it ends or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds, again, most of this is, I mean, this is all from coverage that we heard this week. We're speculating a little bit, but regardless, it sounds very interesting. Like to think that like the Tangled Shore is going to be this patrol space, and then this whole other place the size of Nessus we're not even going to get access to until after we beat the story it just sounds excellent. And then to have all this lore and story that it seems to have behind it is exciting.
It's pretty big to get like 2 full new areas. Like outside of like, a base game, like we've never gotten that much real estate out of an expansion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how big the Tangled Shore is, but it's got to be a decent size. So to get that plus another space, like that's a lot of, that's a lot of stuff to explore. Yeah. So, all right. Next up, they detailed all the different supers. So there's 9 of them. I don't think we're gonna cover the details of each one.
Right. Yeah, they like break it all the way down to the
they break down like if you open up your subclasses and you have like the attunement tree, which is the top and bottom trees you can select. You have like 4 different perks that are active. So they detailed each one of the perks for the new attunement tree for each subclass. So there's like a ton of stuff. It sounds freaking amazing.
Yeah,
for some
they do,
of these, dude.
Yeah,
like holy cow.
Yeah, I saw
these builds.
the hunter knife one today that we'll say the name of today. It's like a one and done super, and the hunter just like flings knives at the. Oh man, they look. We got a little short video of the Arc Strider today too, and it looked. They look great, dude. They look cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah, all of these sound awesome. Like, go hunt this information down. Like, if you really want to know ahead of time, some of the perks and the different stuff like is totally outside the box of anything that I think we've ever seen in as far as powers.
And they're leaning on like I think some of them are even doing what they've kind of hinted at. They're like leaning towards support.
Very much support oriented for some of these.
Yep, which is great. I love that.
So
very cool.
Sounds really cool. But they mention when it releases, I guess that first week, there will only be 3 new supers that you can access, and the rest will kind of roll out over 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you don't get them all at once.
No.
I don't know like what the mechanic for how those will roll out will be, but
yeah. My first thought for this, I think maybe Mini Guardian's initial thought, like I was like, what, really? Like that just seems like that's part of the content. But the more I thought about it, like if we don't think about how things have been released in the past and we're on this new vision and this Bungie seems very prepared and very confident about this content, like with everything that we're going to get with Forsaken, not even counting like the quality of life stuff, with as confident and as awesome as Forsaken is looking with each day, I think it's going to be cool. Like we're going to have so much to do and so much to experience that it's going to be neat a few weeks in to, like here's some 3 more supers.
Yeah.
Check them out.
And it'll also give you like more time to just, okay, if there's 1 for each subclass, like the first week, which I'm assuming would make sense, then that gives you like that whole week to just, play that super and like, get deep in it, explore it, like enjoy it, and then, have another one the next week to look forward to trying. And I'm sure there will be some kind of like mission or, activity or something that unlocks it for you, or
Yeah.
maybe something you go and do to open it up. So there'll be that too. Like those have been really cool. Like when they've had the the original new subclass missions, or in Destiny 2 where you like earned your subclasses back and you had that thing. Like those were really cool. So I hope they do something fun like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I totally get like the time gating for, thoughts, and it's like, I guess you could call me optimistic, but I really feel like with as great as Forsaken is looking, this would be a way to do supers. Like, it just seems like something that would be exciting to kind of dish out over time, and just, continue to give us exciting things throughout. I mean, if this is we talked about their goal with the annual pass and this or that, and it really seems like, this go around, they're doubling down on wanting us to feel like we're continuously getting content. Like throwing 9 supers at us at once. I mean, that's a lot. So I really think this is going to feel for for all of us as players, like it's going to feel natural just to get a few here and there. So yeah, I think it's going to be cool.
So tell us about the exotic details we have.
Yeah. So they've confirmed. It's like every layer of this, dude, just seems like, okay, they were not joking about September. Like all you Guardians that are waiting for September, like it's so obvious they've been listening. So exotics, they're going to have deep exotic chases that will take weeks into release to get. There'll be 15 new exotic weapons. Nice. Of course, there'll be more armor. So there's 15 new weapons and then armor on top of that. So there's going to be chases. They actually Game Informer did a whole thing on the, what is the name of this one? Is it
Cerberus?
Is it Cerberus?
Cerberus +1.
I think I spelled it wrong.
I pulled it up, yeah. Cerberus +1.
Yeah, it's a new exotic auto rifle. Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, this thing, like, it looks cool, but I don't know if I'm going to like it. Like, it's the idea of it maybe is cool for PvE. I don't know. We'll see. What's going on with this
I think
thing?
they said it's definitely a PvE gun.
Yeah. So it has 4 barrels, basically. Yeah. And I mean, the inspiration, they did confirm, like, it's from the old Contra game spread gun. Yeah. And it's awesome, dude. Like, the idea of it looks cool. Like, it's great. But I'm like, man. And they did say, like, the center barrel, that bullet you can predict, just like a normal 1-barreled gun, you can predict where it is going to go. And then the rest of them, like, will target other enemies. So in PvE, it's definitely going to be fun.
It's definitely a spray and play. But the guy who was, I think, Ben, that was detailing this gun, both in the article and in the video they put up, like, basically said he very quickly, like, just used this gun through the campaign. He liked it so much, and he got so used to it that he just stopped using other guns because it was so utilitarian. So you never know, man. It might win you over on the PvE. Like, sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, very true.
Very spray and play.
But the biggest piece of this is that just like we've seen in Warmind a hint of, more than I thought we were going to see in Warmind. They've confirmed, like, there will be exotic weapon chases in the game. So I know many Guardians we know have been asking for that since back in the day. So that's exciting. Yeah. Very cool.
So next up, they talked about triumphs, which we already know are coming back, but they're going to add triumphs throughout the year as events and new releases happen. Triumphs and collections will be updated with what's new to earn and collect. Triumphs will also contribute to a score similar to how we had Grimoire score in Destiny 1. You'll now have a total score, for the game that come from triumphs, and you'll earn titles that will show off certain triumph thresholds. So if you specialize in a certain category, you can unlock something they called meta goals that unlock titles that would be displayed beside your name.
It's awesome. Yep.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So they're really going to build on, the triumphs and collections and stuff, which I think is really, really neat for the hardcore and the hobbyist and even the specialists,
Yeah. I think it's going to create a lot of
value. You can earn something they call badges.
Yeah. Yeah,
for collecting full sets of legendary armor.
It It was
Do you
in
know
the,
more about
like
that?
the rapid questions video they did with Game Informer. It was like
Yeah.
119 questions or whatever. And he just asked if there would be armor set bonuses. And they said, I don't even know if they said no. I think they just answered with there will be badges.
Yeah, I don't know what the badges are. If it's something that goes on an emblem, if it's something that you wear and it gives you a bonus.
It's weird that they answered with that on the question of set bonuses.
Right.
And that's all they said. So you'd think there would be some sort of
I guess we'll find
bonus.
out more, but
yeah, than just like a
there's
badge
something
for your
that they
thing.
have. Something.
So they've thought about it. That's a good thing.
Yep.
That's a good thing. There's a new tower defense style public event called Rift Generator. 3 to 6 players can confront a new take on wave-based fights. And there's also a new public event, neutralize the cryopod defenders. This, I don't know if the Rift Generator is also, it is a public event. It was confirmed. We got it here. So both of those are the new public events. So again, they say 3 to 6 players. So, we still don't know if this probably is on the Tangled Shore, not the Dreaming City, but we still don't know getting 3 to 6, like what we're looking at here. But they looked cool though. We got some footage of this. So very cool.
They talk about the in the Dreaming City, the new raid will continue the story narrative that reveals a different and new great threat that changes our focus. There will not be new content for the Leviathan in year 2, but there will be new raid layers. They kind of sidestep. They didn't say specifically that the raid layers would be in the Dreaming City specifically. I think in one of the video interviews they just said, yeah, there's going to be new raid layers, and that's all they would say.
That's it, yeah.
So we'll see how that progresses.
Next up, they do talk about mods. Basically, there will be fewer mods, but they'll be more interesting. New conditional for what class or weapon type you can apply them to, basically. And
I think they said they're going to be like less class specific stuff,
right?
Like so that you have less mods that can be applied to more things.
Yeah, exactly. And the one that I jumped to immediately, they gave examples of increased hip fire, extra damage against vehicles. With that one's kind of interesting. But
that's funny. Yeah,
the one that I honed in on immediately was in-air accuracy.
In-air accuracy.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So they seem like more, like you said, geared toward perks than just ability.
Yeah, they mentioned especially with guns, like it's more about like specializing guns and like making them do things that fit your play style and stuff like that, like adding something.
Well, we always talk about that with supers and stuff and exotics. Like that's what we want. So you take this all the way down to mods on your weapons. Like you can really get pretty specific with your builds, and that's I think that's what a lot of people want.
And they didn't talk as much about what mods will do for armor, but we do know that random rolls are going to be on armor too. So I don't know what they have planned for mods on armor, but there'll be something. But they are taking away the old +5 power increase on legendary mods.
I like that. I like that they're doing this.
I like that they're kind of doing away with that, because that system, I'll be honest, like initially when Destiny 2 released, like that system was not clear to me immediately.
Well,
like,
it's also like, okay, what's the cap?
There.
Okay, so then there's going to be 5 more than that because we can put mods on, Right. Yeah.
It just didn't work together well.
Yeah.
I got how they wanted to make mods, like legendary mods, something that would be, another thing to earn and like to try to get all those for all your gear and stuff. But it just ended up being like, I don't know, too much work for not enough gain.
Well, and then it's like I have many weapons that I use quite a bit that I don't have a legendary mod for. I mean, you eventually bank them, but it's the kinetic ones. He was selling Gunsmith was selling those the other day. I bought a couple of them.
You really only need them for if you need like max light stuff for the raids and EP. Like that's the only thing they're good for. Other than that, like they don't serve any purpose. So totally
fine with this.
Yeah. They talk about lore fragments. There's going to be dozens of lore fragments to gather that are in the game that will tell different stories that we'll be able to see in the UI through the lore tab or whatever it's going to be, the lore little section. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how they're, like if there'll be something you pick up like the old calcified fragments or if it'll be scannables, but there will be things you collect that will tell stories. So very similar to the old Grimoire unlocks, So that's something to look forward to there.
Yeah, definitely. That, again, what the community's been asking for a while. So, okay, the next one's interesting. Director, milestones, and reset. So the director will be completely redesigned, less focus on milestones. Vanguard, Crucible, Gambit, and Flashpoints will reset every 4 days, with the raids staying weekly. So there'll be kind of almost a bi-weekly type of reset for, again, Vanguard, Crucible, Gambit, and Flashpoints. Daily heroic missions will be returning, and they will appear on their respective destination, and individual strikes will be selectable on the map again. So all the feedback they've been listening to.
Some great stuff there.
Yeah,
and they
the
mentioned,
reset, dude, is an interesting one.
Yeah, they mentioned they want to make sure that you don't often feel like you're gonna you go in and you might do all the milestones for the week now, and then you feel like you might run out of stuff to do, even though there may be other things you could do, like your progression stuff is done. And so they mentioned they're doing this so that you have a more frequent chance to have more stuff to do, right?
To chase, yeah. And it's like, if they're continuing what they've done in Warmind, which made the grind take longer, we mentioned last week or the week before, like they're restructuring, like there's going to be weekly and daily, and then now we've learned that there's going to be a reset on certain things every 4 days. So it sounds like the goal is, and what the community's gathering is, it's going to take us a while to level up to 600 power level, but it's going to feel great as a player playing the game, because we're going to have all these different types of milestones on different resets and daily heroic missions and this or that, so it's going to feel like we're getting rewarded regularly, it seems, hopefully,
especially if you want to play more often.
Exactly. And it's going to throw me off, dude, because I'm so used to the weekly, everybody is like, I'm so used to the weekly reset. It's going to be weird that something resets every 4 days.
It's crazy.
So I don't know.
But another thing they mentioned is like there's not going to be a big milestone list. In the director. Basically, there will be events on different destinations, and they'll kind of highlight like if there's something specific to do or something that you can go do. Like it'll have something that kind of points your attention to it. And it seems like they're going to have more of like on the director, the Destiny 1, where you can go into zones and like pick, strikes. How they used to have the old map where you could just pick all the activities. I don't know if they're going to do that with the missions, but for sure with the strikes, you'll be able to just go pick one and run it, which is great. If you're trying to do something specific, or if you just want to go try a strike out,
It seems like
there's going to be, they haven't brought this up too much, but there's going to be all the PlayStation exclusive stuff. Is going to unlock for Xbox players when Forsaken drops. So I'm going to want to go like run those strikes,
Get that stuff. Yeah. It seems like again, we're finally getting, I mean, a lot of this stuff we asked for way back in Destiny 1, and it seems like what we've mentioned, like Destiny 2 and Destiny 1 with Forsaken, like it's finally all meshing together. We're getting the best of both games. They're throwing in all this stuff we've really asked for and wanted for a long time, and it just seems like we're gonna have a nice, good, cohesive experience where we feel like we're constantly progressing. And it may be the term that a lot of Guardians use of MMO light. It seems like it's going to be maybe a little bit less of that. It's going to feel more like an MMO where we've constantly have something to do and level to increase and activity to complete, So it's exciting, man. Like it's I'm very excited. I always nerd out on UI and stuff like that. We talk about that every time we get a release. So I'm excited to like jump in and just see what everything looks like, all these menus and the director and see what's going on. So, Very cool.
Next up, they detail some stuff in the Crucible. So first important thing is they mention, so there's going to be 4 new maps and a new gameplay mode in the Crucible, but this stuff isn't going to drop until a few weeks after Forsaken launches. So there's going to be a little bit of a time. Yeah, I think they almost want people to like focus on the PvE a little bit, and they're going to drop the Crucible stuff to give you something else to do. But the new gameplay mode is going to be something called Breakthrough. It's going to be a competitive mode in the competitive playlist. Basically, the object is you control something called the Breaker, you capture that, and then your goal is to hack a vault and capture it. So it's an objective-based mode. It kind of almost sounds similar to like Sabotage or something like that, don't you think?
Yeah, and it's going to be in the competitive playlist, and it almost seems like whatever you do to capture that breaker, then it kind of shifts into
it's like
obviously one
attack or
team will be
defense.
defending and one will be attacking. So very cool.
So, and then they mentioned 3 of the 4 new maps will be created focusing on that gameplay mode.
I will say, I thought, talking about the supers, that over time made sense to me to stagger those at release. This seems a little weird to me. Like, I totally get it. Like, it seems like, again, they're confident that we're going to have so much to do that, getting all this at once is just, it's a lot. But the Crucible, it's weird. Like, especially for people that just play Crucible, like, we're not going to get this at launch. And, it's, if I would think even Crucible players will be jumping into all this other stuff, but let's say if you only play Crucible, I mean, you got all that quality of life stuff, but it's kind of weird that none of the new maps will be dropping day 1 of Forsaken, Isn't that weird?
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind too, though, this is like Gambit is going to be dropping too. I mean, it's almost like they're putting out so much stuff. That, like you said with the supers, like, it kind of makes sense to stagger it out, because you can't, like, let's just look at week 1. Like, if they dropped all the supers, both of the patrol spaces,
imagine if they dropped the raid
the new mode, the raid, Gambit, like, you can't play all that stuff.
That's true,
like,
because Crucible players will be able to play Gambit.
There
is, it seems
they're
like...
really throwing more at us in one expansion than we've really ever seen.
Period. Even with maybe the base of either game. Right? I mean, it seems like...
as far as what's new, because even, outside of Destiny 1, when Destiny 2 launched, like, we had new modes for the Crucible. That was stuff that was new for us to explore. But, there's the usual, like, strikes, there's the raid, there's the campaign, like, all that stuff to play, and there was the adventures. There was a ton of stuff. But for you to, like, just play every new thing and do more than just skim the surface it would just seem impossible. So I like that they're doing this. Like, it makes it's going to give us more to do over a longer period, right?
Yeah, well, it seems like they figured out the structure of Destiny, right? Like, it as a casual person, a player looking in, and you see this, like, your immediate reaction is to think time gate or this or that. And it's like, if you see the whole picture and you've kind of sensed the confidence that they have, like, it seems like they've taken the time to figure out how to really make it feel like we constantly have something to do in this game that we love. And it seems like it. I mean, we're going to find out over the next few months, but I think you're right. Like, it's a lot of stuff. Like, I'm not even thinking about Gambit. When I'm talking about, man, it's going to be weird, we're not going to get 4 new maps, but we're getting Gambit, and it's going to have 4 maps.
Has
what was it, like 20 plus possible scenarios inside of Gambit alone?
So everybody's going to be playing that.
And that's available right away. They said they didn't want it to be like reach a certain level, so you can jump in Gambit immediately. So anyways, I mean, it's a lot of stuff, man. I don't know.
Yep. So tell us, since you're as well probably the most familiar, they detailed some very, like, specific stuff about weapons and ammo.
Yeah, well, let's just all right. We'll break this down and then we'll chat about it. Weapons and ammo, kinetic and energy weapons. Of course, they'll be kind of intertwined, and purple ammo will still be your power and your heavy. So the kinetic and energy slot with the primary white ammo, it'll be your ARs, your bows, your hand cannons, your pulse, your scout, your sidearms, and your SMGs. The kinetic and energy with requiring the green ammo will be your breech-loaded grenade launchers, your fusions, your shotguns, your snipers, and your trace rifles. And then the power slot, of course, the purple ammo, will be your drum-loaded grenade launchers, your linear fusions, your rocket launchers, and your swords. So this all makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be cool, and I think it's going to
like
work.
how they've divvied it up.
Yeah, and we've learned, like, well, they specifically say, I think, like the Hawthorne shotgun, it is now a kinetic shotgun.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just crazy. Yeah. So it's
there's going to be some stuff that I think Irk said in an interview, like there's going to be some stuff that changes slots.
Yeah.
And you're going to kind of want to explore what those are when
like
things
to
launch.
wrap your head around it. Like I think I used the example a couple episodes ago. Like it's like when we went to the reveal event and we were playing with two primaries in the two slots. Like it seems like it's going to be like that, weird to wrap your head around. And the other thing, we'll get used to it, of course, but the other thing that's interesting that a lot of people are talking about is knowing, hopefully, and obviously they're play testing this, so I'm sure it's going to feel fine, but knowing what ammo you need, right? Like, of course, it's got the little icon on there and it shows you if you need white, green, or purple. But as you're playing the game and you're swapping from shotgun to shotgun, you know, like, are you going to very quickly know what ammo you just picked up and which shotgun it was for, you know?
Let me ask you if you know, is energy weapons, are like an energy auto or something like that, are they going to still use green or are they going to be white now?
I think they're still using green.
Okay.
But I'm not, I mean, again,
I wasn't clear about how they explained it, like if those still use green or if it's just the weapons, like, you know, the fusion, shotgun, snipers, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it seems as though. But again, yeah,
We'll try to
I don't
find
know
out
for sure.
on that.
Yeah,
I'll actually. I mean, I should probably be able to figure it out at Guardian Con
in a few days.
Gambit, so I'll check that out.
Like, we didn't get a whole lot of time with it at the summit. We did while we were playing Gambit. But you know, if I could play it again, I would try to focus
what
more
to look for
on the weapon slots, right? Yeah, because we were so zoned in on Gambit, and it's like, wow, this is cool. I can have a shotgun in my secondary, but like we just to have a little bit more time with the weapon system for sure. Yeah. Wow.
Cool. So so that's the breakdown of weapons and ammo. I like how they're doing it. I think it's going to work well, and it should be a lot of fun to play.
A lot more customization in your play style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They mentioned, just as like a big picture item, like they want to focus on a clear roadmap for players to make smart decisions for the future of the game versus releasing things that feel like separate products versus, you know,
we've been talking about.
So like Destiny 2 and then Expansion 1, Expansion 2, like all feeling kind of disjointed. I think what they're trying to say, like, is they want, you know, like they're going to do with Forsaken, like they're going to put out Forsaken, and then the annual pass stuff is going to really tie into, you know, the same world and the same, you know, themes and stuff that we're exploring, and use those spaces, and will feel more like part of that product as opposed to, you know, a standalone like thing that doesn't build on the previous stuff they put out. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And that, as a player, even if we don't realize it, will create so much more value, you know, than just getting a fragmented piece of something here and there. Right. So, yeah. And of course, you know, I'm sure they've already got a team or two working on at least the next thing for the annual pass. Probably.
Yeah.
So,
this new.
Yeah. The blind well.
So they originally they were calling it the Pit, but the name of the activity is called the Blind Well. And for you lovers of horde modes and the current escalation protocol, this is that iteration of that type of activity. They mentioned, so some of the things that they're kind of improving and stuff they've learned, it's going to have its own arena. So it's not going to be in the public space like Escalation Protocol, because they feel like that kind of, caused some conflicts, in those spaces. So similar to like Archon's Forge and stuff in the past, like it has its own arena. It's repeatable. Now, the way they explained it, I was trying to kind of understand what they were saying, because they said it's different from Escalation Protocol in that it doesn't just follow like a 7-wave pattern.
Yeah.
They made it seem like you could do like level after level or like wave after wave if you want. But the idea is you start out and you're in like these bubbles, and then when you kill enemies, like you can move to other bubbles, and the playable bubbles like get bigger and bigger, I think. And then you have a boss that shows up and you defeat the boss.
Yeah. Yeah. The way the Game Informer
It's kind of
described
hard
it, like,
to see without
it
visualize
seems
without
like not
seeing
so
it.
fun when you're confined to a bubble that they were describing, but they seemed very excited about it. They were talking about like, I guess you can leave those and you might take damage or something, but it's strategic because you might have to leave it to finish off an enemy off in the distance, and then you have to jump back in. So I have no idea right now what to, as far as visually,
It seems kind of outside
about
the box,
the game mode, but like the idea of it, of course, I'm always on board for some sort of wave-based horde mode. Yeah. So
they also mention you'll find tokens that offer different difficulties in the world, similar to like Rise of Iron, where you would find I forget what they were called, but it would be some kind of token that would give you the access to different, difficulties. They'll have a mechanic like that to do like harder stuff. And then they mention, the Game Informer guys mention, so the activity is built for a 3-man fire team, but they said they'll make it easier for more people to match up. They didn't say how. They didn't say, I think it's up to 9 players, but they just said like Bungie, recognized that people wanted to do that in Escalation Protocol and it was difficult, and somehow they're going to make it easier for more fire teams to get together. I don't know how though.
Yeah.
But that's something that they're looking
immediate feedback and answer to what people want out of Escalation Protocol. So I'm a little confused though. I actually tweeted at Scott and Steve. I'm confused. I thought I saw in a video, just a short clip, that Escalation Protocol is also still going to be a thing. This is not confirmed at all, but I thought I saw the little icon on there. I also thought I heard it mentioned as well, and that it will be still a thing out in the public space. But again, not 100% confirmed. I was thinking Escalation Protocol was just going to be like your Archon's Forge, like it's only for Warmind. But I got to do a little more digging, because I was hoping they'd tweet me back and confirm or not. But I just in some of the footage that I saw and some of the coverage that I've been listening to, like it seems like maybe Escalation Protocol will still be a thing. Like maybe in the Tangled Shore or something, but I don't know. Again, I don't 100% know. I just, I want an answer. I don't know. I just like I said, I thought it was just going to be like an Archon's Forge type thing. Like it's here for Warmind and then it's gone, but it's people have had so much fun with it. I mean, it would make sense to just keep it out in the public space, right?
I don't know. I'm okay with them just kind of iterating and doing different versions of this stuff.
Yeah.
I think that it would be smart for them to do a new or different version of that type of activity for every expansion.
Yeah, like out
every
in the
major
public
expansion.
space. Yeah. See,
I think it has like I think it's really fun and people enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it has like its own kind of specific niche of play.
Yeah.
That if they could do something, I think it's good. Like don't just copy paste Escalation Protocol. Like I like that they're gonna do something different, but it's the same type of activity, but make it fit for that space and give it a little bit different flavor of the gameplay, and keep building and working on that and making something new. And that's how they've gotten to escalation protocol, and that, like they did, the original thing on the Dreadnought, and then they had Archon's Forge, and they keep building on that, and it got better and better. I think
people had a lot of fun with Archon's Forge. I don't know what it was in the footage I saw. Again, I'll have to keep doing some digging, but
maybe it was this. Maybe it was the Blind Wealth.
Well, they had mentioned this, and then I thought that in some footage, I still saw like the escalation protocol icon out in a public space, but I don't know. I don't know for sure. I'll dig into that. For me, like, I love that there's always I want some sort of like a Archon's Forge or escalation protocol, but I still would love, like, it seems like the Blind Well, like you said, is another more fine-tuned iteration of an Archon's Forge and things like that. I still, though, would love to see, like, at the launch of Destiny 3, a wave-based arena that stays with us through every expansion. Like True Trials does. Yeah, and you throw in the new enemies in there and some new waves, and it's 50 waves. Like, I would love to see, while I agree with you, I love like seeing a new catered to whatever expansion we're getting. I still think it would be cool to like let that stuff happen out in the public space. I think it would be awesome if they could fit into the lore and everything. Like, here's this arena we go to, and each expansion, like, we have new waves and iterations and new enemies and bosses that are intertwined into it. I think it would be so cool. But
they just need to have Firefight from the original,
basically,
Halo stuff.
So, I've said that already like probably 10 times on the show, but that's not too bad considering it's episode 153.
Yep. Totally tangential thing that they mentioned in the podcast is that Bungie actually has a new office space across the street from their current office.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Apparently is where they're hiding Luke Smith these days.
Yeah. So
my speculation is that that's where they're doing their new IP. That would make sense to me.
Think so? Somebody's working on Destiny 3 somewhere.
Probably in Bungie somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll throw out my story theory that I tweeted about today. So here's my prediction, and we'll see if I'm right or wrong. But
I loved this, man. Yeah.
Basically, I think Uldren is escaping with the Barons from the prison to go rescue his sister Marisov from the taken Ascendant realm and defeat the bad guy that's invading the Dreaming City. So his motivation for killing Cade is, he was trying to prevent their escape, and that's why that goes down. And I think the bad guy is Savathun, the Taken Queen, and she's going to be the raid boss.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
I think it's good, man. The only thing that's weird is the of course, however it'll play out in the expansion, but like the scene and how it went down between Uldren and Cade, like obviously, like you had mentioned a couple episodes before, there's that they got to that actual point and position, like in some way, but the overall like motive, like your thoughts like really make sense.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to think we wouldn't see the Queen.
We've gained some more details about what happens in the very beginning of the campaign from some of this coverage, and basically we know that Uldren is breaking the Barons out of the Prison of Elders. That's part of what's going on, and you're there trying to stop that.
Yeah.
And we know that the thing that we saw at E3 is not the exact cutscene.
Right.
Basically, we know that, Cade's going at it and his ghost gets sniped. And similar to what we saw, it just doesn't happen like in that exact like manner. So his ghost gets taken out, so then he is left at a disadvantage when he's already kind of beat up. And he does get killed. We don't know like the exact way it goes down and stuff, but they have said like we're gonna hate the Barons just as much we hate Uldren, because they're gonna play a big part in that. So there's more to be seen, like how that goes down. But I was just thinking outside of like, okay, based on everything they've told us so far, like how could this all fit together? Yep. I think the biggest surprise that would be cool is if we saw some of the characters like involved in all of this show up, like Eris, Miroslav, of course, would be a big
surely we see the
wish
queen.
for everybody.
You'd think. All this fan service.
Of course,
we see the queen.
Yeah. Of course, Varric's, we want to see all those characters come back. We already know Petra's coming back. I think one twist that could totally turn what I think is turn it on its head, I guess, is if Miroslav is the big bad.
Yeah. I mean, they very much, at least with Aldrin, they did it again with the developer video today. Like, they wanted our baddie to be like just a guardian, just a guy. So ultimately, there's this larger enemy that we'll face in the raid, but you wonder if like they'll still continue that theme and it'll be more realistic enemy, considering the overall theme of the expansion isn't like we're saving the world now, or the universe. It's like we need to eliminate this specific threat.
Yeah, and one other interesting thing they mention is like that you're going to have to kind of morally go into some gray areas to do what you need to do. But what that means, like, what does that mean in the universe?
I feel like we're Superman now.
For us to do something that's morally gray, like what is it that we could do? Like, we're always fighting bad dudes, right? Yeah. We're fighting like true enemies or people trying, all these different factions and alien races, but what could we do that could be construed as like morally gray? Like, could we end up fighting some Awoken? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is going to happen that means that? So I'm interested to see where I mean, maybe so. I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah. Just talking about it, getting all the tidbits of information that we've been getting and talking it out like this, it just really feels like I'm pumped to dive into the story. Like, I in no way, shape, or form feel like it's the Taken King was great. Phoned in. Yeah, like we're getting a fall expansion, but I mean they're doubling down even on the story part of it, and it seems like it's going to be. I think we're going to get some more. I think they've hinted at that too. Like, Cade isn't the only like surprise moment we're going to have. So I can't wait.
Sure, they got other things in their hand.
Who needs Crucible maps for the first couple weeks?
Yeah. All right, man. So how was your reset?
Oh, dude, reset was great. Bullet points. We spent a lot of time on the news, and rightfully so. Picked up the sidearm. Future War Cult, of course, $50K for that. I've already almost got my Glimmer back. You know how fast you get that stuff. But I've been testing that out. I want to use it some more. Sidearms are tricky. Like, you got to, of all the weapon types in the game, like, you got to use sidearms for several games, like, to get your reaction time and your brain wrapped around them again, because they're just so, you feel it's up in their face and you're snappy, and you're, with that one, you're kind of burst firing. And so anyways, I've been trying to really look at my builds and like, okay, this has kill clip on it. I need to really acknowledge when I get a kill, reload, do the thing, because it shreds. I mean, it shreds anyways, but it absolutely shreds.
Yeah, I heard that you really want to hip fire that sidearm.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, too, I thought Last Hope had kill clip, but it doesn't. It has a different perk on it. So I guess this is the only sidearm that has kill clip, which was the big draw to it. I was thinking it was the second one, but... like the Itana, it has, and I've been wanting to test between the two. It's hard because this one, when you get kill clip, like, it shreds, like, it does some major damage. But the Itana has the perk on it is like increased hip fire accuracy and stuff like that, and handling. So I've been wanting to test between the two because I do like to hip fire a lot with sidearms. So anyways, I got some more testing to do there. We got some trials cards in this weekend, like 2 or 3. Super sweaty still, like major sweaty, dude. It's crazy. Like, I'm talking like 2 or 3 wins, like maybe. It is just it's so sweaty, yeah. But it's fun. We had a good time. Just messing with loadouts and stuff. Got a lot of quick play in. I say a lot. We played for a couple hours before we jumped into trials, so I ranked up at least 1.5 levels, I think. So hoping to reset once. And then, dude, I've been really wanting to play. I've been in that zone where I want to play another single player game, but I don't really want to play it on my PlayStation. Like when I come down here, I'm on my PlayStation, in my game room,
Yeah.
wherever in our game room or whatever. Like I throw on Destiny. So I'm like, okay, the Switch is it then. Like I got to find something on Switch. So I do that thing where I like go out on the Switch store, I look up top 10 Switch games, yada yada yada, and I'm like, dude, I have like 10 games installed. And I haven't beaten any of them. So I did find a cool game I didn't even know existed. It was called Battle Chasers, maybe. Looked really cool. Was it called Battle Chasers? For the Switch. It looked really cool, man. It looked like Diablo top down, and it was turn-based strategy. It's $40 still. It just came out, I guess, a few months ago. Almost thought about getting it, and then I'm like, man, I've got Stardew, I've got Zelda, I've got Mario, all these games. So I landed on, believe it or not, man, I'm playing Stardew. I watched a review on the game. I watched something else on the game, and we talked about it. And you've played it quite a bit, I think. There's so much depth to that game, and it's so easy to pick it up and play and pause it with the Switch and the game itself. To just put it down, pick it up, put it down. So like I started a new farm this week. Of all the games I could play, man, I started a new one, and I'm gonna try and dive into that for a little bit. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I wanted something I can just pick up whenever, and a lot of times it's like 20 minutes before I'm about to go to bed or something, and just something I can throw on for a little bit in bed. Switch is obviously great for that. So that's my reset, man. That's what I'm doing. What about you?
That's great, man. Yeah, so I of course, I finished out Dead Orbit last reset, got those things, and I picked up that sidearm as well. Been playing with it a little bit. Took advantage of that 3 times Valor and played a ton of Mayhem this weekend.
Oh yeah, I didn't play any Mayhem, dude.
God, man, I love Mayhem so much.
Yeah.
So much. It's my favorite Crucible mode now.
You get your supers so fast now, dude.
Yeah.
Like it was
Some
fast
people really
before,
don't care for it because it's too chaotic, but I just have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The people were really complaining this weekend, though, about Night Stalkers in there, just shutting people down, and I ran into that some. But, man, I got to tell you, playing Sunbreaker with that top tree, that's where it's at, man.
Throwing hammers in Mayhem, dude, is the best.
I've gotten really good with some hammers, too, man. I can thread the needle and just put them.
It feels so good when you do that,
don't
too.
Expect. Yep. So I had a lot of fun there. So I got, that Legend Valor rank finished off, and I did some Escalation Protocol. Started cleaning out a lot of stuff out of my vault. Since we're going to have access to that stuff later in collections. So really started getting rid of some stuff I hadn't touched in ages. Got rid of a bunch of like ghost shells and ships and sparrows that I never use, and got a bunch of bright dust out of it. So
yeah, dude, I'm like over 5,000 now.
Yeah. And so just been kind of, just looking at the triumphs and, starting to mess around with some of that stuff. And that was most of my reset. I only played a few nights this week because I've just been super busy, but that's all I've really gotten into. I'm looking forward to finishing off some other games this summer and doing all the triumphs and stuff this summer. Of course, we got the Prestige raid layers coming in a week, so I'm looking forward to trying those out next reset with the team, and those are going to be fun to
dude, the update next week is a big one, man. I'm taking the PlayStation on vacation.
Oh, nice.
just we always, I end up when everyone's asleep, so I'm sure we'll have Wi-Fi, and that update's going to drop on Tuesday, so
I was doing the same thing when I was out of town, when the kids would hit the sack and my wife would like crash super early, so I would just we brought the Switch, so I would just play around some stuff on the Switch till I got tired, and it's like the precious time when everybody's asleep. And
it's like, it's always good to take a little break from gaming, but it's like, it fits in the bag.
Just some casual stuff, just a little bit here and there. Can't hurt. But yeah, so how about we do some discourse real quick, because we got a few things.
Yeah, let's do it. We got a couple speak pipes this week. Couple good old buds at the Derp fam. We got this first one here from Mr. BitDead. We'll take a listen.
Gentlemen, how are you? It's BitDead. I've been giving it some thought about what my favourite moments from the show were, and although there's been many, there's one that was an honour for me. It was when I visited the American War Memorial in Cambridge to pay my respects to the American fallen from the wars, and I sent it in, and you read it out for a geography lesson. It was a great honour for me, and I will always appreciate that. But going from a good note to a bad note, guys, I'm still disappointed you guys aren't feeling the love of pineapple pizza. Here's one for you to try, okay? Barbecue sauce on whatever bread you want. Barbecue sauce, steak pieces, chorizo, chili cheese, pineapple. Cyborg, stop pulling that face and give it a try. It's well worth it. I'll tell you, it'll change your mind. Anyway, guys, I hope one day that I can fly over for GuardianCon and see you guys or whenever. Sadly, I have a wife who, one, doesn't like Destiny, and two, if I said to her I want to fly to America and meet some of the people I play Destiny with, I don't think I'd get the best response. Anyway, guys, keep up the great work. You know I love you. Stay safe. Laters. Guys, I'm very sorry. Forgive me. It's me again. I've just been looking through I was just messing around on the Destiny 2 companion app, and I found the old messages, and the message that I was first sent to me when I first joined the Derp Fam, dated the 31st of the 12th, 2015. The first person who greeted me was, well, it was the sexiest man in Derp Fam, Manny G, closely followed by AER0KNIGHT. Cyborg ignored me completely. And that was it. That's when I joined. I listened to the podcast way before then, probably a good couple of months. But I'm sad to say I'm not an OG member, but I have listened to every single show, so that's one thing, I guess. Anyway, guys, I'll leave you alone. Stay safe. Much love. Respect. Laters.
Bit Dad, I didn't ignore you. I never would ignore you.
Never.
But I'm really bad about not seeing when I get messages and coming back a month later and being like, oh no, somebody messaged me, and most of the time, whatever it is somebody needed, they found their way to it.
It's hard on Bungie.net too, your phone.
Yeah.
I try to keep my phone, if I get multiple messages, I try to keep my phone locked so that I see them when I actually get back to my phone. But then at some point you'll clear your phone out.
You'll clear your notifications, and then you might forget. Yeah, that's the problem, man. Here's the thing. So we have all these different things that people can contact me on, right? So you
Twitter,
got Discord, Twitter, Bungie, Xbox, on and on, all these things you got to keep up with, and it's a lot sometimes. But
dude,
anyways,
I eventually, I actually just did it recently. I'll spend a little bit of time, and I'll go way back on each of them.
Yep.
And I'll message people, and I'm like, hey, sorry for the delay. This went down my feed, and they're like, oh, thanks so much for messaging back, even though it's been 4 months.
Yeah, no.
It's
that
sorry,
happens. So sorry, guys.
sorry.
If we don't respond to stuff.
And don't think we're not getting we're really not getting that many messages. It's just
too many
different
places
to streamline
to
this.
keep up with.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm glad that somebody messaged you back, Bit Dead, because you have been around for so long, and I'm so glad you're part of the community. But
very much so.
I'm sorry, but I'm not messing with any more pineapple pizza. I don't care what you suggest,
dude. And that's a way back shout out on the geography lesson. I remember that picture we got from him.
Oh yeah, on
the
War Memorial.
Yeah, yep.
Geography lesson went on for a long time. If you you're a newer listener, we had this thing that we started the show with where people would send us what we called a geography lesson of the week, and they could submit who they are, where they're from, and what their favorite thing was about that place, and then their favorite class in Destiny. And so every week somebody would send in from somewhere around the world and tell us about where they're from and what's so interesting and cool about it. And Bidhead had sent one in from he visited a war memorial, and we talked about it for geography lesson, and it was a really cool one.
Yeah, man, just sitting here listening to you talk about it, the new Derp Fam discourse would be such a great place to throw a geography lesson every now and then.
Maybe we need to. Maybe we'll bring it back one day. Not yet, but maybe one day. Next up, we got a speak pipe from our buddy Dreadnought. Let's take a listen.
What's going on, Derp Fam? This is Dreadnought78 here. Just wanted to drop a quick speak pipe about, wow, year 3 of Destiny Reset? That's incredible. AER0KNIGHT, Cyborg, you guys are great. I've enjoyed every episode that I've listened to, and I'm an OG Destiny Reset family member. I started out in episode 3. So some of my favorite memories about this podcast was Papa Cyborg saying, hey guys, go do your nightfalls, go do your bounties, go get them strange coins. Another one is I was one of the people that was part of the geography lesson, and I got Cyborg to say roll tide. Say it, Cyborg, roll tide. The last one I'll mention is probably the year 1 episode where you guys had the admin team on, and minus Terry, I think, but it was just great to hear you guys reminisce and really see where Dirt Fam is right now. It's a tremendous group. I've loved playing with all of you guys and getting in to meet some of you guys, and even living next to one. Joe Meaden's my neighbor. Anyways, you guys are incredible. Dirt Fam, you're awesome. Arrow, Cyborg, you guys keep it up, and I'm looking forward to year 4, year 5 of Destiny Reset. So, Dirt Fam, this is Dreadnought78 saying, you stay classy out there.
Hey, Dreadnought, man. Yep, it's some classics here. Like the one, been listening since episode 3. That's fantastic. We know you've been around for a long time. I mean, that's okay. It's episode 153, 150 episodes ago. It's crazy. But I love this one, dude. This took me back. Cyborg reminding everyone to do the nightfalls and bounties for the old nightfalls. Dude, you get 9 strange coins. Do all 3 characters right off the bat.
Yeah.
Oh, you bank those strange coins.
Strange coins.
Because I remember I used to be like, I've been like, dude, I have like, because I do at least 1 nightfall. I mean, I there for a while I did 3 nightfalls, 3 raids, but pre Trials of Osiris. But I remember I'd be like, I have a couple 100 strange coins, and you'd be like, dude, I have like 900 strange coins.
Funny thing is, when I heard this, is like I thought about the fact that when Destiny 1 was finished, I think I still had like 1,000 strange coins.
That's crazy, dude. That's so crazy. I never had that many strange coins.
With
much
nothing
as
to
I
do
played,
with them. Like,
never had. Yeah, that's true. We didn't. Yeah, I still have in my Destiny Reset binder with like all our random stuff. I have an old page that I printed from Reddit, and I can't give credit to the user because the actual printout didn't have it on it. But it's like I think I've mentioned this before. It's like the order. This is way back, like maybe even before the Dark Below. Like it was the order you should do things for your weekly reset. And of course, the first thing was do your nightfall because you get the buff. And then it said in order what you should do things to maximize your time.
How to maximize everything.
Yeah, dude. I still have it like in my binder.
That's great.
So funny. Yeah.
Yep. There's some classics in there, but I'm not going to say what you want me to say, Dreadnought. Sorry. You got me to say it once. That's your one time.
You tried.
That episode, that was a really fun episode when we got almost all the whole admin team on. That was a good one that we did. I think that we did that for what?
I think that was 1 year. The 1 year anniversary.
The 1 year? Yeah, that was the 1 year.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Maybe one day in the future we'll do that again.
That'd be a lot of fun.
That would be fun. Get everybody back on.
Be a good time.
Yeah. So thanks for that speak pipe, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right. Dreadnought, thank you. And we got an email as well from Ivan. He says, I started listening to the show just about the time D2 came out, so I really haven't been around for the full 3 years. But still up to now, my favorite part of this show, I really just like getting to hear news and how your weeks have gone in the Destiny universe. I really like to have someone else to at least listen to about the game I love so much. It is the highlight of my week, seeing the notification that a new episode is up, and it helps set up the rest of my week in a good light. Thank you so much for what you do, and keep going strong. That's very cool, dude, because thanks, Ivan, for that email. It's cool to get different perspectives. Like, he's been listening since D2 came out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's awesome, though. Thanks so much for listening.
Very cool. I hear you, Ivan. Like, even I get to talk with Arrow here about Destiny every week, and I really look forward to that because I get to just talk about Destiny and what we've seen this week and what we played, and just kind of like talk about it a little bit. And But even sometimes, like, I'll just go search down a Destiny podcast just because I want to, I just want to hear other people talk about it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do they think, or what are they doing, or like, what did they notice in a thing, or like, what did they hear about? And like, I feel the same way sometimes. So I appreciate that you listen to us for that, and I'm glad that we're able to do that for you.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're somewhat entertaining. If not entertaining, at least we provide news.
At least interesting in some way, right?
Yeah, some way, shape, or form. It is funny though, because like we right now, until maybe cross save is a thing, especially with it becoming so much more of a hobby, which is what we want. Like we don't play the game together.
Right.
So it is kind of, it may make the show even more interesting, because when we text all week and stuff, but when we get together, like it's
fresh every time. Like,
we're talking about what we did together.
I think it would be harder if we did, because we would be like having to talk about things again, or like we would be like, oh, we already talked about that. Let's talk about this. So it works for us,
It does, yeah. Definitely does.
Sure.
Well,
thanks for all the discourse, guys. If you want to talk about anything Forsaken, if you want to talk about what you've been playing, if you've got a question you'd love to hear our feedback on, DirtFam Discourse is the place for it. Send us an email, destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com, or SpeakPipe, speakpipe.com/destinyreset.
Do it, Guardians.
Do it.
We always want to hear from you.
Feedback.
DirtFam patrons, we do not have any new shout-outs this week, but that's okay. We want to thank each and every one of you for the continued support.
Absolutely. And if you don't know what a patron is, you can go to patreon.com/destinyreset, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the production budget of our show. And those go towards things like hosting fees and costs for software we use and equipment, and just all the things that help make the podcast as professionally done as we can. So we appreciate everyone who does that for us. We've got a ton of you guys. And if you become a patron, you get a few things. You get a shout out on the podcast. You get your gamer tag posted on our website. And you also get an invitation to a Discord channel just for our patrons and supporters.
Yes.
Thank you again
so much.
All right, man. I guess where can people find you?
Man, it's that time already.
Yeah.
It is, after 1 a.m, so it's about right. You could find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at AER0KNIGHT with a 0. What about you, man?
Perfect. You can find me at CyborgSasquatch on Twitter and Mixer. And you can finally find us at Destiny Reset on Twitter and also on the web, www.destinyresetpodcast.com. It's your source for all things DRP, including links to subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app of choice. Hey, and thank you for the iTunes reviews. We got a bunch of new ones this week.
Man, we got 4 new ones this week. We may have a 4th written review. We're not sure yet. Sometimes it takes a minute to post. But we got 4 new 5 out of 5s. Thank you guys so much. Derez Glitch, CSM Music, Frame Rate Games, and there's another one. We don't have a gamer tag or username yet, but thank you guys so much. It's awesome. We're over 170 now, man. Very cool.
If you're on Apple Podcasts, please, if you've got a moment, go leave us a review. You can even just leave us stars if you like. We appreciate your feedback, and doing those also helps us get seen by more listeners who want to hear about Destiny news and Destiny talk. So
Destiny things.
They make a big difference for us.
Right about now, more people want to hear more things about Destiny.
Oh yeah,
all the
this
hype,
is the time.
Hype train.
Now through September, this is when things really heat up for us in the podcast business.
Yes.
So we can't wait to be there for you guys, to be your source for everything Destiny. We're gonna continue to improve the show, bring on interesting guests to talk with us about things of Destiny. We've got some big announcements coming up there for you. We'll be covering all the Forsaken stuff through that expansion. Really looking forward to just not having a life anymore. So
yeah, it's always exciting because it's the build up all the way to and trying to organize and take in all this information and then throw it out to you guys, and then it drops, and then we start consuming it all, and we're like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah,
let's just
That's
just
the
talk
hardest
about our
thing.
experience.
Yeah, but we'll do it. We've done
do
it
it.
before. We'll do it again.
Many times.
Be there for you. We're your
Many
guys.
times.
All
Okay.
right, buddy.
I think it's time to wrap up the process and maybe get some sleep, Cyborg.
Yep.
All right, until next week, of course, have fun playing Destiny 2 and take care, Guardians.